Hello friends, good evening. Welcome into the Interact with Mentors. So today we are going to discuss about the difficulties we face in practice, in day-to-day practice, the questions, the difficulties come in our way, and how to address these difficulties. Okay. So you can ask the questions. You can put your questions in the comment box, and we can get started with the questions. So we will start with the first question. So it is about the potency. This is very common question, and usually we face it. So posology is very big topic in our homeopathy. Uh, Controversial topic also, and debatable also. And potency, give which potency at in which case, to repeat. Can we give high potency after low potency? Can we give low potency after high potency? So there are usually many questions, but the question is, what is the general idea of selection of potency? So in my practice, so potency, if we divide loosely, not very strictly, so we can say low potency, medium potency, and high potency. So usually we divide potency in according to this classification, and usually we say 30 and below 30 are low potencies, maybe 60, 30 are low potencies, 200 medium potencies, 1m, and above 1m, 10m, cm, 50m, usually we consider them as a high potencies, right? So the basic idea or the basic concept I use in my practice while selecting potency is, when the given case is at very superficial level, is at fact level. Patient is telling you the characteristic symptom at the local level, right? Patient is giving you the symptoms at the particular level. Maybe suppose a patient of joint pain comes to you, and when you ask the characteristic, when you take the case in detail, you ask about the location, sensation, concomitant, right? You go with the chief complaint. So when you ask, tell me about pain, how is the pain, what are the modalities, and patient tell you the characteristic symptom at the local level. If suppose patient says my knee is paining, and he's saying ki doctor, my pain is so severe, walk. Okay, when I start walking, when I want to try to move, pain is there, right? So motion is very painful, walkful. When I rest, it is good. And in spite of so much of pain, my knee, in spite of swelling of the knee, it cold to touch, and usually it gets ameliorated by cold application, right? Cold application or ice application. So patient has given characteristic on the local level, at the level of knee pain you are getting, swelling is there, but affected part is cold. Pain is getting aggravated by cold application, amelioration by rest. Okay, when you further inquire in the case, patient is not able to tell you. Patient is not able to tell you the mental symptom, the physical general symptoms. Maybe there are not so much of symptom, or patient is not expressive. So in this case, when you are getting a characteristic symptom at the local level and no symptom at the general and mental level, or mind is not getting affected because of the local symptom, usually in that case I prefer low potency. So when you are getting the characteristic at the local level. So now we are getting very characteristic symptom of the knee. So I will prefer to give 30 potency, right? If patient is not giving at all any characteristic symptom, only knee pain, patient is saying only knee pain, knee pain, knee pain, and all common modalities of knee pain. So I will prefer to give lower than 30 potency, maybe 60. Okay, if I want to prescribe on the therapeutic level, only local disease symptom. But when I am getting the local symptom at the particular level, characteristic symptom I am getting, I will prefer 30. Okay, if this knee pain is affecting this patient at general level, right? If patient says, doctor, because of this knee pain I am feeling lot of weakness, my sleep is getting affected, because of that sleep I am lethargic whole day, I'm feeling very weak. Okay, so when you getting started the symptoms at the general, patient is talking about local symptoms and the physical general also you are getting characteristic or altered physical general you are getting. So I will prefer in that case to give 200 potency, right? So what I am getting here, characteristic level at physical general also with particular level. Okay, so I will prefer to give 200 potency. And in a case if the symptoms are at mind level, okay, I am getting prominent symptom, I am getting if the energy is more at mind state is prominent, so I will think of giving high potency. Okay, for example, if this knee pain is affecting at the mind level, okay, this patient is saying I am getting this knee pain is really irritating me, I am getting really angry when pain is there, and I shout on somebody if somebody cross me or contradict me while I am having pain, I become so irritable. Okay, and when this pain is there, when the severe pain is there, I am only suffering with this pain. Why me? What I have done? So now you can see the local level symptoms started affecting mind also, right? So you are getting characteristic symptoms at the mind level also, or you can get you will get the characteristic dream or characteristic fears at the mind level. So when you start getting qualified mental symptom in a case, so that indicates this patient requires higher potencies. Okay, so maybe this patient requires 1 m potency. So in this way you can decide what potency patient wants. So in mind symptom also, always remember, so there are mind symptom, there we can classify mind symptom into qualified mind symptoms and general mind symptoms, right? For example, make it easy for you, a child comes to you and says I am having fear of dark. Okay, or a person comes to you and says I am having fear of dark, right? So if you see fear of dark, you go to repertory and open the repertory, you will see fear of dark is very, so many medicines are there, right? How you are going to utilize this fear of dark? But when a person add quality to that, person tells you more specific. Okay, so in fear of dark, person says when I am in a dark, I feel somebody will come from behind. Okay, come behind and he will harm me. So it becomes more qualified. So now you have fear of dark, with that delusion somebody is there behind. Okay, so this becomes the qualified mental symptom, and you will get more and more qualified symptoms, at the mental level. Definitely your potency, you should go to the high potencies. Okay, maybe 1 m potency, or maybe more at delusion level you can go for 10 m potencies. Okay, so this is the basic rule I apply for potency selection. For acute also, for chronic also, I have seen the same criteria usually is benefited me. In acute also you can see, suppose a person is having acute diarrhea, right? Acute gastroenteritis. If you are getting the symptoms only at the level of stools, how are the stools, what are the modalities when you get the loose motion, only characteristic at the local level. Thirst is not getting affected, thermals are not getting affected, appetite is not getting affected, mind level is also calm, he is not getting, mind level is also not getting affected because of this acute trouble, I will prefer to give 30 potency. But with this loose motion, his thirst is characteristic, maybe sip by sip frequently, maybe patient has developed weakness, as if there is no strength, patient cannot get up and do anything. So you are getting now with the local symptom at the physical level. And so because of this weakness, because of diarrhea, patient has become very restless, very angry and very anxious also. He has, oh, what is this? I don't know from what I am suffering, what will do, please call the doctor. So mentally, physically patient is becoming restless. So you can see the totality of arsenic. But if the characteristics are at the level of only at the local level, I will give arsenic 30. If the physicals are also affected, the specific thirst, the weakness of arsenic, I will give arsenic 200. And if the mind also of arsenic also I could see in the case, I will give arsenic 1m in the case of acute diarrhea. Okay, so this is usually I follow for the potency. Okay, so what is the next question? So somebody is asking about the difficulty in psoriasis cases. Okay, so in homeopathy, I believe if you get the right medicine, any advanced pathology can become easy. But if you are not able to get the characteristic symptom, the right medicine, the simple case of coryza or simple case of diarrhea also can become very difficult. So I think we cannot decide on the pathology to which case we can say easy, right? So it totally depends on how the case goes, how much the characteristic symptoms you are getting. Okay, and on depending on that we decide to which case say difficult or easy. That is what my understanding is. And when you are saying difficulty in psoriasis cases, so I'm not able to understand what kind of question you want to ask, because if you ask more specific question, then I can answer also. Okay, because psoriasis cases, yes, I know psoriasis cases are really difficult. Relapses are very common, and I have seen in my cases what happens in psoriasis. We give the medicine, we take the case in detail, we give the medicine, patient feels better, eruption also goes away. Okay, we will become very happy, oh, we have treated the case of psoriasis, eruptions are better. But after some time, some stressor comes, or after some time, maybe after 6 months, maybe after 1 year, eruption comes back, and it is really difficult to handle again. We have to take case, again we have to see what is the medicine coming for this state. Okay, because when you present a case of psoriasis in front of any practitioner of modern medicine, any doctor or skin specialist, the usual answer he will give, what he will say, psoriasis has spontaneous remission. Okay, so what your medicine has done, it could have been gone away spontaneously. Okay, and it will come again. So we have to prove it. This eruptions has gone, it is not because of spontaneous remission. For that, in psoriasis cases, we require a long term follow-ups. Okay. So for that, if you take a case of psoriasis and if you show the 6 months follow, I have given medicine and eruptions are gone, now the patient is happy, but this 6 months of follow is not sufficient in psoriasis cases. Okay, at least you should show a serial follow-ups or the follow-up after 2 years. According to the WHO, if you see, WHO says when you can say the patient is psoriasis free. Okay, so they have said that when the patient is not having skin eruptions for 5 years. Okay, so if 5 years patient is not having any kind of eruptions, psoriatic eruptions, then you can say that patient is free from psoriasis. So in psoriasis cases, long term follow is really important. Okay. Okay, so hope your question is clear. You have got your answer. Okay, anything specific question, more question? Okay, so case of depression, right? So what is the question there? Case of 18 years patient has no desire to live, wants that. Okay, so this is very common symptom in case of depression, right? So in case of depression, so I think do you want to ask how to handle case of depression or this specific question? Because when if we start to discuss a specific cases, so it will be difficult to discuss the specific case. I will give you general guidelines. Okay, for the case of depression, what happens? So when you take the cases, so depression, I will generalize it little bit more. We can say the psychiatric cases. Psychiatric cases handling becomes sometimes very challenging. Okay, because many times you get the common symptoms, right? In case of depression, there is no desire to live, no desire for socialization, no appetite, patient is sleeping 20 hours, or patient is eating, binge eating you can get, and patient has no desire to go for take bath, or patient want to remain in the room. These kind of things you can get in depression, and when you take the case, you will find the same kind of symptom you are getting in the cases, right? So in the psychiatric cases, what we have to do, first thing is very important. Usually you will get some trigger for this depression. So always remember, try to find out cause. Okay, so cause is very important in the cases of depression, and common symptoms will be there, but you have to find out with the common symptom what are the characteristic symptoms are there. Okay, if patient is to live, then what is the reason, what is his idea behind that? If patient says I don't want to go out, I don't want to socialize, what is his idea behind that? You have to go one step ahead. You have to ask the reason behind that. You have to ask you have to judge the perception of that patient, and you can get the find remedies there, because otherwise prima facie you will see the all symptoms common to the depression. Okay, but you have to go deep, and you have to ask, and you have to see what individual or what is different this patient is getting. Okay, and all these kind of patient requires with medicine, lot of assurance and personal attention also. These people can be very nagging. Okay, they will call you frequently, they will come for the follow up frequently. Then you have to handle these kind of patient very tactfully. Okay. Okay, so higher potency doesn't work in depression. Okay, so do you want to ask that higher potency doesn't work, or we should give, or we should not give higher potency in depression? Okay, till your question comes, we will take the next question. A case of chronic tonsillitis in children. So see, tonsillitis is I think uh, we can say uh, the USP of homeopathic practitioner, right? The chronic tonsillitis, I have seen the cases. Our medicines act very beautifully, and you can avoid the tonsillectomy, you can avoid the suffering of the child. Usually what happens in chronic tonsillitis in children, after every 2-3 months or in every month, if child eats some cold food or gets exposed to the cold air, or there is change of the weather, and child gets with the sore throat and the throat pain and tonsillitis, fever, so this cycle goes on. The parents goes to the pediatrician, they give medicines, they give antibiotic. Children is very not cooperative to take those medicines. So parents goes between through all these hassles, right? But homeopathy really help the in these cases, and I have seen superb result in chronic tonsillitis cases. But the case taking in the children requires a special skills. You require, your observation should be very keen, and uh, in pediatric cases you should take the parents data also and child's observation also, and on that basis you should prescribe. Okay, but yes, chronic tonsillitis cases we have lot of scope. And what usually I have experienced, the chronic medicine, the constitutional medicine, after taking the case, usually helps the child. Okay, so potency selection in the, okay, psychiatric cases. So depression cases, you have given the example. The case of depression, the psychiatric case, the potency selection principle, what I have shared initially. Okay, if you are getting symptom, characteristic symptom at the local level, okay, you will give the low potency like 30. If you are getting the characteristic symptom at the physical general level, like sleep, appetite, thirst, thermal state, perspiration, tongue, or nails, appearance, so you will give the potency medium like 200. And when you are getting the symptoms at the mind level, qualified mind symptom, you should give the higher potency. Okay, so this applies to case of depression also. If you are getting the common symptom of depression like loss of appetite, does not want to go out, no socialization, binge eating or complete loss of appetite, sleep 20 hours or sleeplessness, these kind of symptoms. So now these symptoms become local symptom in case of depression. Okay, so you are not getting very characteristic symptoms. Okay, few characteristic symptom here and there. Okay, in this area you can think of giving low potency. With that, if the physical generals are affected, you are getting characteristic at the level of perspiration at specific level, let's say perspiration at occiput, sweats more at the scalp, very patient, gets cold easily, you can think of calcarea, right? If you are getting the symptoms like physical level, characteristic at the physical general level in case of depression, definitely think of 200 potency. I will think of 200 potency. And if you are getting with symptoms of depression, you are getting the characteristic dreams, characteristic fears, phobias, or at the mind level you are getting qualified characteristic symptom, definitely you can think of giving high potency. Okay, and usually what I have experienced in cases of depression, in cases of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or delusional disorder, we get lot of symptoms at mind level, qualified symptoms at mind level. Mental state is very prominent, so usually higher potencies helps. So 1m 10m usually helps in cases of psychiatric cases. Okay, so in depression, if you are getting the characteristic symptom, you should definitely think of giving high potencies. Will it damage the case if we give institutional in acute cases? Okay, so I don't know about the damaging the case, but see, in my practice I follow very simple and very basic law of homeopathy. What Hahnemann has said, in homeopathy we should prescribe the medicine which is homeopathically indicated, right? So symptom similarity is the base for any prescription in homeopathy. Always remember, I this rule by heart, and I always tell to my student, symptom similarity, keep in mind. If you are handling a case, let's suppose the chronic tonsillitis, somebody has asked the question, you are giving the constitutional remedy for the chronic tonsillitis, and patient comes with some acute, right? Maybe acute coryza, maybe acute diarrhea, or acute exacerbation of the same case, same tonsillitis. Okay, in that case you have to take the complete totality, complete characteristic. You have to take location, sensation, modalities concomitant, and whatever remedy is coming, you have to prescribe that. Suppose you have prescribed calcarea carb in the chronic tonsillitis case, and that child comes with some acute and aconite is indicated, I will prescribe aconite. I will not prescribe calcarea carb. Okay, but in the acute exacerbation or acute disease, the child having the calcarea carb constitution, if the child shows the calcarea totality in the acute, then I will prescribe calcarea carb. Okay. So whenever there is acute exacerbation or any acute disease comes in between while you treating a chronic case, you can take the sectorial totality and you should prescribe the indicated medicine which is there in the totality, which is the acute symptomatology showing. That medicine will help. Okay, I will not give the chronic medicine just because it's constitutional. I will never do that. Okay. So ringworm cases, as I'm saying, that the specific diseases, it will be really difficult to discuss the, but homeopathy has scope. But nowadays what I have experiencing with the ringworm cases are really very difficult to treat, and I have seen the cases, the patient coming years together for ringworm, to homeopaths also, to me also, right? We give the medicine, we take the case, we give the medicine, completely all eruptions goes away, patient feels happy. But maybe next summer comes, next rainy season comes, and patient again comes to your clinic. They pop up when the season comes, right? It's very difficult, I agree with you. But what I have seen, certain use of nosode is showing really benefit with the indicated remedy in cases of ringworm. Because why I am saying that, ringworm cases usually what we get, they have usually they apply the ointments, usually they apply the antifungal creams, usually take the treatment of modern medicine for months, for years, then they comes to you, right? So always there is a history of strong suppression in ringworm cases that I have seen. So always indicated remedy will alone help in this case, that I have not seen. Usually you have to give some nozzles with that, like Bacillinum thuja or tuberculinum is the key. Ask patient to take bath frequently, change clothes frequently. These instructions are very essential in cases of ringworm. For okay, what question we have now? If we have sure of constitutional remedy, but the patient is not going on mental or delusional level, can we give 1A potency? See, if we are sure of constitutional medicine and patient is not showing the mental symptom, right, or dream or delusion, higher faculty characteristic are we are not getting. So when you are sure of constitutional medicine, then you must be having symptoms at physical general and physical particular level, right? So in that case, definitely you should go for 200 potency. That is what I have seen. That potency act much better when there are no mental symptoms, but the medicine is clear for you on the basis of physical symptoms. Okay, that is what my experience is. So for the case of mental illness like phobia, how many months is the required for treatment, and how we analyze that is cured? Okay, so for the case of phobia, I would like to generalize it. It is not case of phobia or mental illness or any pathology, structural or function. We should decide the time frame, in how many months or in how many days or period patient, or how many years patient is getting cured, or the symptoms are going to subside. So it will be really risky, and we should not do that, because every case comes with their individual characteristic and individual predisposition. Okay, so the outcome of every case depends on the characteristic, how much characteristic you are getting, how the case is going, how the vitality of the patient is, what is the predisposition of patient is, the interplay of the maintaining factors, okay, the ongoing stressors, how religiously the patient is following you. Okay, so there are so many factors. These are the few factors which are responsible for the outcome of any case, not for phobia, for any case. So when patient comes to you and asks, doctor, I am having phobia, so and so phobia, tell me in how months I will get cure. This is the common question patient asks to you. Maybe first question they ask to you. So in that case, you should always tell them every case is different, every person is different. So it's really difficult to tell in the first on the first day how many days you are going to require, but always you can give some time frame. Maybe for example, like case of phobia, you can say maybe 6 months to 1 year you will require. If and you should always apply the asterisk, apply the condition. What condition? You will maybe get cured in 1 year if only provided you follow up religiously, you take the medicine regularly, you follow religiously. Definitely we will try to cure you within 6 months or 1 year. With that, you can add one caption to this also. Maybe you can get cured for this also, or maybe 1 or 2 months in advance also. Okay, but in my practice I never tell patient that in so much of in the 6 months or in 1 year you will be get okay. Okay. So like there will be group of 5 6 students, the limited group of students, and you can directly share your cases, you can directly share difficult cases with the mentor, and mentor will try to solve the difficult cases with you. Okay. So that is the advantage of mentorship program. Usually in other programs what happens, when there are the lecture of one after other, you can attend the session, you can attend the lecture, you can gain the knowledge, you can get the insight, you can get the stimulated, motivated. But question comes when you try to apply this knowledge from you have got from the webinar, from the seminar, when you have to apply it in your practice. And when you start applying this knowledge in your practice, the real problem, real question starts coming. And these real questions, real problems, we can handle, we can address in mentorship program. Okay. So that's why mentorship program is really essential. Okay. So any question? So if there is more questions, we can wind up today's session. So uh, thank you all for attending today's session and for putting your questions. It was I was very happy to answer your question, to address your difficulties, queries. Okay. So with mentorship program, I want to announce one more thing, that basic program is starting soon. Okay. So basic program is starting soon, within next 2 3 days. Basic program is starting, and basic program is completely online. 24 sessions will be there, 2 hour for each session, and this course will be beneficial for all the students or the beginner practitioner, all the interns. This will really create the foundation for your homeopathic practice, foundation for developing further advanced knowledge. So definitely you should take advantage. Especially I will urge to all student, beginner practitioners, all people who want to again start the homeopathic practice, because many times what happens, you get the break because of sometimes, and now you want to start homeopathic practice, you have lost the touch from homeopathy. Then this basic course is also very good for those people also. So I will urge to you all to take advantage of this basic course. You will get details on the site of song, or your WhatsApp group or Facebook page. On this Facebook page also you will get all the details. So thank you very much.